to my channel. My name is Veronica. For those who are new, bienvenidos a todos los que son nuevos. Gracias por estar aquí, por clicar en este video. So, as you guys could tell on the title, voy a estar hablando de... I feel como que ya es un tema como que ya like... I don't cry over it anymore. Ya no me agüito así igual. Como dicen por ahí, ya lo estoy superando. So... this happened to me when I was in 4th grade, so what, like 10 maybe? Around there, como que sí, como 10 años, no? 8, 9, 10 años, around there, right? So I'm really young. Okay, so let me start out with like a little backstory. I was in 4th grade. I didn't really like read like good enough, or like, you know, así como los demás. I was like estaba atrasada in reading, so I needed help, right? Y en ese tiempo, I loved my teacher. My teacher was amazing. I loved her, like, oh my god, like her name was Miss Quijas, and I loved her. I don't know why, like she was just so like cool and everything. Y son poco los maestros que me han caído bien, so she was one of the teachers that I like really liked. And she started doing after school tutoring, and like she was always like on me, like, you know, do this, do that, y Vero, pon atención, and she would like talk to me in Spanish. So I feel like that's why I kind of connected on her, like with her. I mean, because like most of my teachers I had like puro inglés, and like with her it was kind of like apúrale, córrele, like, you know, it wasn't like, I don't know, it was kind of weird. But anyways, so no le hacía muy bien. So she started doing this after school program, so I signed up, obviously. And then me quedaba los 30 minutos after school, or like 45 minutes. So yo salía a las 3, no, a las 2:50, 2:30, something like that. So, you know, it was like 15 minutes before the little class started, and then it was the class. So cuando uno salía, like, salíamos por enfrente, and like obviously ya no había igual de gente like recogiendo a los chiquillos y todo. So I had to like walk home. And by that time, se me hace mi mamá no tenía carro, se me hace. I don't think so. No, she didn't drive. And then, porque yo salí así por enfrente, so I kind of had to do like, I cut out like school right here, and then I went like this, and like this, and like this, and then that way. I don't know if you guys can understand. So my mom would always tell me like, oh, like, si un día like I'm not there, just keep walking, because, you know, a lo mejor se me durmió el niño, because my little brother was like smaller todavía, like he wasn't in school. So she's like, oh, si está dormido, I'm not gonna be able to like pick you up, like I'll go halfway and I'll meet you halfway, y tú te vienes, like en caso de, like something happens, like there's a lot of, like in the valleys, las casas están más closer to each other, so if something would happen, like, you know, if you were scream saliera uno al otro, like of people in their homes, you know. And then so I was like, okay, siempre me decía like, oh, just in case, like just in case. And I was like, okay. So that one day, that just in case, you know, I didn't see her, iba saliendo, and I was like, where's my mom? Like, you know, I was in 4th grade, estaba chiquilla, estaba morrilla. So then I started walking, right? And I started like walking straight, like coming out to school, so straight, era una cuadra. So I was like, okay, you know, it's not that bad, like my mom's gonna be probably like, you know, in the middle of the thing. So then I started walking like down this way, like towards me, right? Or like this way. And then I started like, but okay, so I walked down this way, and then I saw a white car like turn this way. So I was like, oh, like I didn't really like, I saw it, but I didn't really think anything of it. So I was like, okay, like whatever. And then I started walking more, and like, but the car was going really slow, and I was kind of like, I would like eyeball it like así, and I'd be like, you know, like, oh, it's a white car, 4-door, you know, de 4 puertas, las ventanas bajadas, un señor pelón with like a mustache, a white mustache. He looked Latino, so I was like, oh, you know, like, I don't know, I saw him, it was kind of like, and I could still remember him, like, I don't know, that's not mad, like, so I was like walking, and the car was going really slow, and I was like, oh, he's probably looking for an address, right? Era lo que in my head, I was like, oh, he's looking for an address or something, because he would like kind of look around, and he would look like this, like towards me, and I would like eyeball him, and I'd be like, oh my god, he's probably looking at the addresses on the houses and stuff. And I'll be like, oh my god. And mind you guys, I was like, you know, chiquita. Like, I was like freaking 8 through 10 or some around there. Like, I remember I had like this backpack that was like, así like kind of big, and like it had estrellitas on it. Oh my god. So like, I mean, like, I feel like if you look at una niña de esa edad, like, you don't really think about like, you know, she's pretty or like stuff like that, you know. It's, I don't know, like, so me dio tanto like, anyways. And then after so I kept thinking like, oh my god, hopefully he's probably looking for an email, I mean for an address, he's probably looking for this, or his girlfriend is gonna come out. So then he started doing like, he would drive and then kind of pull over to the side hasta que yo alcanzaba el carro, and then again he would do it again. And I was like, oh, he's probably looking for his girlfriend has to come out, or like, you know, una de estas casas. And so my palms started getting sweaty, and then I started feeling like, you know, that feeling cuando se te cae el corazón, como que, you know, like, oh my god, you start getting like nervous. So that started happening, and I was like, oh my god, like, why do I feel so weird like this, like, you know. And then yeah, going like almost when I had to cross this way, near there vivía una prima de una amiga, and I was like, oh my god, like, I didn't really know her. I mean, I kind of did, like, in school, like, nomás le decía like hi bye, but I didn't really know her, and she was already in middle school, I think, by that time. And like, we didn't really talk, but I was like, oh my god, like what if, like, you know, he's like following me or something. Like, what if I just go and knock on, you know, her door or something, or like I call for her, you know, I don't know, like, se me olvidan muchas cosas en la mente. So I was like, but I was like, no, like, she probably doesn't even remember me, and this and that. And anyways, it kept going on, right? Like, he kept like esperándome kind of, and then he would go and then esperando. And I remember I begged so much to God. I was like, oh my God, like, please, like, que salga la novia ahorita, que please, que salga, que estoy buscando la dirección, him to get off to the house or something, like, please, like, oh my God, like, I felt so scared, and I was like, oh my God, where's my mom? Like I hope I see her right here or something, like, you know, like, ya casi llegando, like, oh my God, like, so my heart started like racing. And then after, I was like, so I was coming this way, right? And I had to cross the street, so I had to like cross like in front of the car to get to obviously to the other street. So I stopped, and then I looked at him, like, I like locked eyes, like, I kind of like, you know, I looked, and I was like, and then he was like looking at me, he was like, and I was like, oh my God, like, so I was like waiting for him to like turn, because he had his signal ready to go this way. Okay, I told you guys like this, and like this. Okay, so he was gonna turn this way, right? And I was gonna turn this way, so like opposites. And then after, I was like, oh my God, like, so I kind of like paused, and I was like hoping for him to go. Y no se iba. And I was like, oh my God. And I kind of looked, I was still like a car behind him coming or something, and nothing. And I was like, oh my God, like, do I just fucking go? And here I go, right? Like, unsure, and I'm like, okay, like, I'm gonna go, right? And I started going, and I like eyeball the guy, like, you know, like, así, like, de ladito. And he's like looking at me like cross, and he's like, and I feel his mirada, I see his eyeballs like going up and down, like, so disgusting. And I remember him like going like this, y hasta le hacía la cabeza when like me passing. Oh my God, I'm even getting goosebumps. And like, my legs. And so like, after I see like him like doing that, so I get over here like me empieza a dar like, oh my God, like, you know, like that type of feeling where you're just like, oh my God, like, you don't know whether to cry or like whether like to freaking, you don't know, right? So I started getting that, and I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know, I felt like this, like, oh my God, like, what if something happens to me, right? And then I started walking a little bit more, and right when I passed like his car, like the end of his car, I heard him like take off the seatbelt, like, you know, because obviously like se oían los otros carros, like, because I was crossing like this, y se oían like from the main street, like, dos otros carros, you know, right? But you could still hear like the, and you know when it's kind of like slow motion in the TV, where, or like the movies where you hear like, for example, they unlock their con una pistola, they, what is it called? They load it, no, not load it. Whatever, they go, you know, and it's like slow-mo, like, that's how I felt, to like him taking off the thing. And I was like, oh my God. And then after, like, I heard him like open the door too, and I was like, oh my God. And then this una cosa that disgusting dude, that he blew a freaking kiss, like that type. Oh my God. So he did that, and dude, I fucking lost. When I heard that, then like the first like and then the door and like the kiss sound, dude. Oh my god, like I freaking started running, dude. Like when I tell you running, like it was like fucking running. Like my freaking legs were like, and I remember like lo pesado de mi backpack was like going like up and down, like. And so then I started running and I started crying like unos lloridos. I was like, oh my god. And then after I remember I kind of like looked back a ver si venía, because I was like, oh my god, like if he catches me ahorita me va a llevar and he's gonna fucking take me and like fucking rape me and fucking kill me or something, like I don't know, like, you know. So I was like, I kind of turned y ya miré que se like, yes, he was going back to his car, so obviously he took a couple steps, you know, but he like turned back and he got in the car, and once he got in the car I kind of like slowed down running, because I didn't have like a lot of sidewalk to run because I had to cross the other way, right? So I like looked and I saw he got in the car y le dio bien recio and he turned, right? And I was like, oh my god, I started like crying and I was like, oh my god. And like I'm gonna be on the sidewalk, right? And I had to like cross the big main street to go to the apartment, to like my house. And then I was like, oh my god, like where, like how am I gonna cross? There's a lot of cars coming, like what if he comes back or something? And I started crying and I'm like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And guys, literally once I see my mom, parece que miré mi Padre Dios, because goodness gracious, like I have never in my life have felt like so unprotected. I've never felt so like that, like, you know, de esa manera. And so like that day when I saw my mom, dude, I literally like freaking fell on. I remember I fell on the floor. I don't remember how, I don't remember like what, but it was kind of like slow motion. I like fell on the floor, and I remember I was like on the floor. I was probably maybe like just resting my hands on my knees, I don't know, but I feel like I was like on the floor, and I looked up and I would cry and I would see like kind of the cars like slow motion así pasando unos así, and my mom like what happened, you know, haciéndome así por el otro lado from the street, and I'm here like what? And when you, I don't know, I just remember it was like I cried like con tanto sentimiento. And so like after like my mom ya me hizo la seña to like pass like all the cars, and like once I got to her, I remember I hugged her and I felt this like, oh my god, and like I thought I was over this. Okay, so then after I was like, oh my god, like I remember I hugged my mom and I was like, oh, this and this happened, and I don't know, she probably didn't understand me, I don't know, but. And then after my mom was like, oh, it's okay, and this and that. She started like bringing me back, and then she said, oh, es que, you know, David se durmió, and like I couldn't go, and like, you know, this and that. And then I remember she would ask me, I think she asked me, I'm not too sure, like it was kind of like blurry, it is kind of blurry. So I remember I cried, and I cried the whole way, like me agarré de con ella, and I cried. And then after ya llegando a la casa, you know, I was like type of thing. And then I remember my older brother, porque él se quedó con, he was already, I think already in middle school. He was in middle school, in middle school. So él se había quedado con mi hermano like when he was sleeping. And then when we got home, my brother was like, ¿Y qué, you know what happened? ¿Qué tiene? ¿Qué this and that? And then my mom, I'm pretty sure she's like, obviously she had to tell him. And then I'm pretty sure she told my dad too. And then after the next day when I went to school, when we were going, she was like, okay, like because I think I stayed once a week. I don't remember cuántas veces me quedaba after school, pero the next time que me iba a quedar, she told me, she's like, okay, I'm gonna be in there in the, cuando salgas, sorry, she was like, cuando salgas voy a estar allí, and then you're gonna walk in front of me a little bit, like a couple steps, and I'm gonna be behind you, so in case you see the car again, you just kind of look, and you voy a agarrar las placas so we can report it, right? And I was like, okay, and this and that, and like we did that like for the, you know, the rest of the time I was there, like in the after school thing. And ever since that, my mom didn't like leave me like, or like let me go walking anymore. But we would go, like she would pick me up, and like ya nunca like volvió ese carro, I don't know, like, or maybe he did it in a different car, I don't know. But dude, that was so scary to me. Like I feel like I've never felt, como les digo, I've never felt so unprotected como ese día. Like that day was so like, I don't know. And then so after that, I felt so like, como dicen, disgusted. I felt so like, not towards myself, you know, just like for men. Like I was like, oh my god, like they're so disgusting, like they're so ugly and nasty, and like obviously not my dad and like my brothers, but like other men, right? So then after that, I started kind of feeling like weird. I don't know if it's weird because I started kind of feeling like anger a little bit towards like men. So after that, in fourth grade and fifth grade, it was kind of like it was like whatever, you know. I was just like okay. And then after, when I was in once I went to sixth grade, guys, oh my god, like that's when like I started feeling like I don't like you and I don't like you, you know, type of thing. So then after, when I started middle school, my dad would always take me to school, right? Siempre me llevaba en su troquita. And había like veces where sometimes una cosa por otra, like the truck didn't like work or whatever, and we had to go walking. So like, for example, my apartment was like right here, and the middle school was like all the way over here, right? And my dad, his job was like in the middle. So what my dad would do, he would, para que no estuviera late, he would walk me passing his job, and then a couple streets more, and then where he would drop me off or like finish encaminándome would be cuando, like, porque I know you guys seen like those places where, or like the streets donde se ponen los hombres, where they like try to look for jobs, or like a ver si se los llevan a pasar un trabajo. So ahí es donde se ponían los hombres. So, you know, 20-30 men, like they're just there in the wall, hoping, you know, someone would come and like offer them a job. So my dad would walk me to that point, y ya de ahí yo me iba sola. And like I would always have like this thing where I would pass, you know, I was the morrilla. I was in sixth grade. I don't know how old was I, like what, 11, 12, 12ish? Yeah, I was like 12. So I would like pass, and I would kind of like eyeball them like this, and you would still say like, and I'm like, dude, like you're a freaking 12-year-old, like are you serious? So then when I would see that, like I feel like como que me apegaba más a mi dad, or like, you know, I was kind of like, oh, like fuck, you know. Una vez, my dad didn't have time to like take me all the way, because I don't know why, but he wasn't able to like encaminarme hasta ahí donde están los hombres. So nomás me encaminó, I think, like to the street of his job or something like that. And so I had to go walking by myself. And then I remember I passed esos hombres, and I felt so like, oh my god, like, I felt como que like, todas las miradas, you know, when you feel las miradas. So I felt that, and I was like, oh my god, like, I started feeling like goosebumps, and so like, oh my god, like, hasta me ponía así los suéteres así like over like my butt and stuff. And guys, let me tell you, I have no ass, I have no body, I have now. Imagínate when I was like probably toda like, you know, flat and everything. So I'm just like, oh, and I'm still over here trying to put my sweater under, or like on top of my butt. Y luego I remember I passed that, y luego ya de ratito pasó un car, and I was like, oh my god, like really close to me, and I was like, oh my god, like please, you know, this and that. Y bajaron la ventana, and it was my friends, and they're like, oh, do you want to ride? And I was like, oh my god. And I was like, yeah, I guess, and that. And so like they gave me a ride. And then there was times where like, because I had this friend, we would come back from walking from like school to home together. Like I would tell my mom, oh, don't pick me up, I'm gonna come walking with, you know, my friend. She's like, oh, okay. Y como ella vivía, or like she would be with her grandma, like she would live right in front of me. So we would, you know, ahí nos acompañábamos. And there was times que like I would tell my mom like, oh, like don't come for me and this and that. And no iba la muchacha, or like they would come pick her up, and I'd be like, oh damn, I have to walk myself. Y lo mismo, you know, a las 3 de la tarde, todas están los hombres ahí, like, seeing if they could get a chance to, like, work. Y pues unas pasaban, unas ya con cuerpazo en middle school, y pues las miraban, and this and that. And I would feel like, I would always try to, like, choose the side donde no había tantos men. And I would be like, me daba tanto, like, cosa, you know? So then that was middle school. When I was in high school, I started getting, like, more of that feeling that I didn't like the boys. Okay, so there was like this like time where like I liked this guy, right, in high school. And then once I felt like he kind of like you know, tried to like kind of like me back, me daba un coraje. Like I was like, like don't talk to me, I don't like you, like get away from me type of thing, you know. And like that was like most of my high school. Like si un amigo de una amiga like started liking me and my friend was like, oh, he likes you, me daba tanto coraje, me daba tanto like get away from me, like I don't like you, like you're so annoying, and so like, you know, things like that. So when pero cuando iba a los bailes, I would dance with, like, you know, with the guys and stuff, y no me daba tanto coraje. I know that's so weird to say, but I feel like no me daba like that thing, you know, like that, oh, you know. I love dancing, so I don't know. And then after, if they would ask, like, you know, si me hacían plática, I didn't like that. I didn't like que me hicieran plática while dancing. I don't know why. And I feel like I was pretty good at hiding it sometimes, like, because I don't remember telling my friends, like, you know, back then, like, you know, this story. I feel like I kind of told them, like, later on. I think I did. Maybe I haven't even told them, I don't remember. But yeah, guys, and then that was most of my high school, like freshman, sophomore, and junior. No, freshman, sophomore, because in 10th grade, that's where I like saw or like met my husband for the first time. And I felt so weird. I felt so like, damn, like, fuck, like this is gonna be something, because I remember he would hang out with certain type of people, and una vez mi amiga me dijo like, oh, you know, that person likes you, y me dio like, no, what the hell, like I don't like him, like this and that. And then after I like, they told me if my husband wanted to like meet me or whatever, and like me dio tanto gusto. I was like, damn, like, ooh, you know, this and that. And like I've nunca había sentido so like for a guy, and I was like, damn, like, so when I would like see him in school, like after que lo dejé plantado, I'll do a story time about that, because see, they have mi esposo plantado the first time, and so that after I kept seeing him in school, and I was like, damn, like you don't know it, but you're gonna be mine. Like I was already in love after high school with, you know, without him. I was already in love with my husband without him knowing. But yeah, so that's why I feel like with my husband, it was so different. It was so like, nunca me dio ese like, oh, like you're like, stop, like, you know. So I feel like, como les digo, that's another reason why like I kind of like really like liked him. I kind of like really like fell for him. Sí tuve like pretendientes in high school and everything, pero como les digo, like it was kind of like that, like like once I knew, it was like, dude, like get away, like I don't like no. So like that's why I feel like a lot of my like for men comes from, because of that. And I'm so grateful that nothing happened to me. I'm so grateful that, you know, it was just, you know, the type of thing, and like he didn't do anything to me. So I feel like I'm really lucky for that, because what if, you know, something else had happened. And another thing, I feel like, I know it's kind of weird, but I've never talked about this with my mom. Like I don't remember, like I've never brought it up in front of her. She's never brought it up in front of me. Like especially my dad, we have never ever talked about it. I don't even know if my older brother or like my younger brother know about it, or like if my older brother remembers. I don't know, but I really do feel like that experience like had to do a lot of like my insecurities, I guess, with like guys and everything. And I don't know, just like after posting this video, a lot of people's gonna know, and I'm like, okay, like I feel like it's not that bad anymore, because yeah, I feel like I'm kind of getting over it. Like the other day I told my cuñada, my husband's sister, Lucy, and then I was telling her like, oh, like because I got a dick picture, right? And I was telling her like, oh, that's so ugly, like what the hell, this and that. And then so I started telling her, and then she was telling me that cuando estaba soltera, that why wasn't I a hoe? And I was like, huh? It's like I was scared of men. And she's like, oh. And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, if it was me, I would be like, hell no, fuck that. Like, so we're like so opposite. And like I feel like now that I tell people, it's more like, okay, like, you know, but I don't tell him the whole story, like my feelings, and just, you know, just like the fast and like, you know, yeah, this and that. But yeah, so that's my story. That's why I feel sometimes. Oh, and now, literally, like right now, if I'm out in public, like just me and my son, and I feel like miradas of like men, or like, you know, I still feel like, oh my god, like, oh, like, you know, me da cosa a veces, me da like, oh my god, like, I want to be overprotected on my son. I want to be like, oh my god, like, and you know, I don't know if you guys understand that feeling, but if you guys are mothers, maybe you will, that, you know, when you want to like, not que nada le pasa a tu hijo, because I don't know. So I still feel that things. I still feel like cosa with like viejos fisgones and stuff. But I feel like it's like less, especially when my husband's around. Like when my husband's around, like I'm like, I feel safe. I feel like, you know, nothing could ever happen to me with him. I mean, when he's like, you know, by my side. Did you guys know that I married my husband was my first boyfriend, the first man I ever like touched hands with, like in a romantic way. For my first kiss and my first everything. Isn't that kind of like weird? Not weird, sino que like es bonito, in my opinion, because like he taught me everything, how to kiss. I felt like, guys, oh my god, this, I'll do another story time. I have a lot of story times to tell you about like my relationship with my husband, but let me just tell you that my first kiss with my husband, dude, that we had an audience. We had, you know, my nervios that made my lips shake. My brother was probably stalking me with his what is it called? The crap, what are those called? The miralejos, I think that's what they're called. I don't know, the little things they call like this. Because my little brother would always freaking check on me with those. I wouldn't see him, but he would tell me like, oh, I was looking at you with the thingies. I was like, where is she? And I'm over here like, oh my god, dude. Okay, anyways, this is the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you guys can notify every time I upload. Espero que se suscriban para que luego sigan más, para que luego miren más videos míos. And yes, si quieren oír más story times de me and my husband, like, you know, things like that, or I don't know, just anything. If you guys want to recommend any type of videos, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. And what else? I think that's all. Alright, then see you guys. Bye.